Welcome back to the channel, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Before you spend another Lincoln Wheat Penny, take a close look at the date and the tiny mint mark. You might be carrying a coin that's worth far more than 1 cent. While most wheat pennies are common, a few rare varieties, mint errors, and exceptional high-grade examples have sold for hundreds, and in some cases, even thousands of dollars. In today's video, we're taking a closer look at 3 popular Denver Mint wheat pennies, the 1956D, the 1957D, and the 1958D. At first glance, they may look ordinary, but hidden among millions of coins are fascinating mint errors and outstanding condition examples that collectors are willing to pay serious money for. We'll examine each coin's design, the metal used to make it, its mint mark, how many were produced, the most valuable errors to watch for, and realistic value ranges based on condition. I'll also show you exactly what collectors look for before they decide whether a coin is worth just 1 cent or hundreds of dollars. Be sure to stay until the end because the last coin has some surprising varieties that many people overlook. If you enjoy coin collecting, discovering valuable pocket change, and learning about rare US coins, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and let's begin with our first Lincoln Wheat Penny.
Let's begin with the 1956D Lincoln Wheat Penny, a coin that many people overlook because millions were made. At first glance, it may seem like just another ordinary penny found in pocket change, old piggy banks, or inherited coin collections. But experienced collectors know that appearances can be deceiving. While the average 1956D wheat penny is common, certain examples with rare mint errors, outstanding preservation, or beautiful original color can command surprisingly strong prices. That's exactly why collectors inspect every detail before deciding whether a coin is worth 1 cent, a few dollars, or much more. The 1956D Lincoln Wheat Penny was struck at the Denver Mint, which is identified by the small D mint mark located just below the date on the front of the coin. More than 1.09 billion pieces were produced, making it one of the highest mintage wheat pennies ever made. Because so many were minted, most circulated examples remain inexpensive today. However, high-quality coins and genuine mint errors are much harder to find than many people realize. The obverse, or front of the coin, features the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. This iconic design first appeared in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, making it the first regular United States circulating coin to feature a real historical person. Above Lincoln's head are the words "In God We Trust." To the left is the word "Liberty," while the date 1956 and the Denver Mint mark appear on the right side. Even after decades, this design remains one of the most recognizable in American coinage. Turning the coin over, you'll find the classic wheat reverse, which gives the series its popular nickname, the Wheat Penny. 2 wheat stalks frame the words 1 cent and United States of America, while the Latin motto E pluribus unum appears across the top. The wheat ears symbolize America's agricultural heritage and remained on the reverse until 1958, making the 1956D one of the final wheat cents before the Lincoln Memorial design replaced it in 1959. The 1956D wheat penny was manufactured using an alloy of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. Each coin weighs approximately 3.11 grams and measures 19 millimeters in diameter. Because of its high copper content, many examples have developed rich brown surfaces over time through natural oxidation. Collectors classify these coins into 3 color categories: brown, and red. Original red examples that still display their bright mint luster are much scarcer and usually command the highest prices. Condition is one of the biggest factors affecting value. A worn coin that circulated for decades may only be worth a few cents to $1. Coins with moderate wear often sell for $1 to $5 depending on eye appeal. Uncirculated examples with full mint luster typically range from around $10 to $50, while superb gem-quality red specimens graded MS-66 or higher can sell for several $100s. The very finest certified examples have brought even stronger prices at auction, because collectors compete for the highest quality coins known. Now let's talk about the exciting part: mint errors. These are mistakes that occurred during the coin's production at the mint, making certain coins much more desirable than ordinary examples. One popular error is the repunched mint mark, often abbreviated as RPM. Before mint marks were added directly to the working die by machine, they were punched in by hand. Occasionally, the mint mark was struck more than once in slightly different positions, leaving visible traces of another D beneath or beside the final mint mark. Genuine RPM varieties are collected enthusiastically by specialists. Another collectible variety involves double dies. While the 1956 D is not famous for dramatic doubling like the legendary 1955 double die, minor double die varieties do exist. Collectors examine the lettering, date, and Lincoln's portrait using magnification to search for subtle doubling. Certified double die examples often bring premiums over ordinary coins. Die cracks are another interesting feature. As dies wore out from striking millions of coins, small cracks developed in the hardened steel. These cracks transferred raised lines onto the finished coins. Minor die cracks are common and add interest, while large retained die breaks or dramatic cuds are much scarcer and can increase a coin's value significantly. Off-center strikes are another fascinating mint error. These occur when the blank planche is not perfectly centered during striking, causing part of the design to be missing. The value depends on how far off-center the strike is, while still showing the date and mint mark. Dramatic off-center examples can sell for hundreds of dollars, because they are visually striking and much scarcer than normal coins. Broad strikes also attract collectors. A broad strike happens when the retaining collar fails to hold the planche in place during striking, allowing the coin to spread outward. These pieces appear wider than normal and lack the standard raised rim. Because they clearly demonstrate the minting process gone wrong, collectors actively seek them out. Another error to watch for is a clipped planche. This occurs before striking when the blank is improperly cut from the metal strip, leaving a curved section missing from the finished coin. Genuine clipped planches display distinctive characteristics that experts use to verify authenticity. Depending on the size and appearance of the clip, values can range from modest premiums to several $100s. Collectors should also look for lamination errors. During production, impurities or flaws in the metal sometimes caused thin layers of copper to peel away from the surface. These defects are called laminations and are considered legitimate mint errors when authenticated. Larger, more dramatic laminations often command higher prices. When examining your own 1956 D wheat penny, never clean it. Cleaning removes the natural surface and original mint luster that collectors value. Even gentle polishing can leave hairline scratches that dramatically reduce a coin's worth. If you believe you've found an unusual error or an exceptionally well-preserved example, it's best to store it safely and consider having it authenticated by a professional grading service. One of the reasons the 1956 D remains popular is its accessibility. Many collectors begin their wheat penny collections with this date because it's affordable, yet it still offers the excitement of searching for valuable varieties and high-grade survivors. Every coin tells a story of American history, from the booming economy of the 1950s to the billions of pennies that pass through the hands of everyday Americans. So, the next time you come across a 1956 D Lincoln Wheat Penny, don't dismiss it simply because it looks common. Check the mint mark carefully, inspect the lettering for doubling, examine the surfaces for die cracks, clipped planches, laminations, or off-center strikes, and pay close attention to the coin's color and overall condition. Most examples may be worth only a small premium over face value, but the right combination of rarity, preservation, and a genuine mint error could make one of these humble pennies a prized addition to a collection and potentially worth hundreds of dollars. In the next chapter, we'll move on to the 1957 D Lincoln Wheat Penny, another fascinating coin with its own unique varieties, collectible errors, and surprising values that every coin hunter should know about. Now let's move on to the 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny, another coin that many collectors and everyday people often overlook. At first glance, it looks almost identical to the 1956 D, but don't let its ordinary appearance fool you. While millions of these pennies were produced, a small number stand out because of exceptional condition, genuine mint errors, and fascinating die varieties. These special examples have attracted serious collectors for decades and can sell for impressive prices compared to their 1-cent face value. That's why experienced coin hunters never ignore a 1957 D wheat penny when searching through old collections, coin jars, or inherited estates. The 1957 D Lincoln Wheat Penny was struck at the Denver Mint, identified by the small d mint mark located directly beneath the date on the obverse. During 1957, the Denver Mint produced more than 1.05 billion Lincoln Wheat Pennies. Because of this enormous mintage, circulated examples remain common today. However, finding one with original mint luster, no wear, and outstanding eye appeal is much more difficult than many people expect. Coins that survive decades without entering circulation are becoming increasingly desirable as collectors compete for the finest examples. Like other wheat pennies of the era, the obverse features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. Lincoln faces to the right, with remarkable detail in his hair, beard, and coat when the coin is well preserved. The inscription "In God We Trust" arches above Lincoln's head, while Liberty appears to the left. The date 1957 and the Denver Mint mark are positioned on the right side. This classic design had already become one of the most recognized coin designs in American history by the late 1950s. The reverse displays the famous wheat ear design that collectors love. Two graceful wheat stalks frame the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America, while E pluribus unum stretches across the top. Since 1958 would be the final year of the wheat reverse, the 1957 D represents one of the last chapters of this beloved design before the Lincoln Memorial reverse debuted in 1959. For many collectors, owning these final wheat cents is an important milestone in completing a Lincoln cent collection. The 1957 D was manufactured using the standard bronze alloy of the period, consisting of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. Each coin weighs approximately 3.11 grams and has a diameter of 19 millimeters. The high copper content gives the coin its beautiful reddish-orange appearance when freshly struck. Over time, exposure to air causes the copper to darken, creating the familiar brown color seen on most circulated examples. Collectors classify the color of copper coins into 3 categories: brown, red-brown, and red. Brown coins have completely toned over and are usually the most affordable. Red-brown coins retain part of their original mint color and are often more valuable. Fully red coins that still display bright original surfaces are the most sought after, especially in mint state grades. A brilliant red 1957 D with flawless surfaces and strong luster can sell for hundreds of dollars because so few survive in exceptional condition. When discussing value, condition always plays the biggest role. A heavily circulated 1957 D may only be worth a few cents above face value. Lightly circulated pieces often bring $1 to $5 depending on eye appeal. Attractive uncirculated coins usually range from $10 to $50, while certified gem mint state examples can reach well into the hundreds. The very finest certified red specimens graded MS67 or higher have sold for remarkable prices, because registry-set collectors compete fiercely for the highest quality coins available. One of the most exciting aspects of collecting the 1957 D is the possibility of discovering genuine mint errors. Although the famous 1955 double die receives most of the attention, The 1957 series also includes collectible double die varieties. Collectors carefully inspect the lettering, date, and design elements using magnification to identify signs of doubling. Even minor double die varieties can command significant premiums when professionally authenticated. Another interesting variety involves repunched mint marks. During this era, mint marks were still punched into the working die by hand. If the first punch was not perfectly aligned, mint employees sometimes punched the mint mark again. This created overlapping impressions that can often be seen under magnification. Authentic repunched mint marks are popular among Lincoln cent specialists because they provide a fascinating glimpse into the minting process before modern automation. Die cracks are another feature worth searching for. After striking millions of coins, the steel dies gradually developed stress fractures. These cracks appeared on the coins as raised lines running across different parts of the design. While small die cracks are fairly common, larger die breaks and dramatic cuds are much scarcer. Coins displaying these striking mint-made features often attract strong collector interest and higher values. Off-center strikes are among the most visually impressive errors found on 1957 D wheat pennies. These occur when the blank planche is not properly centered inside the striking collar. Depending on how far the strike is off-center while still showing the date and mint mark, values can range from modest premiums to several $100s. The more dramatic the error and the better the overall condition, the more desirable the coin becomes. Broad strike errors are another possibility. In this case, the collar that normally holds the planche during striking fails to function correctly. The coin spreads outward, becoming wider than normal and lacking the raised rim. These unusual pieces are easy to recognize and remain popular among collectors of mint errors. Lamination errors can also be found on some 1957 D pennies. These occur when impurities or weaknesses in the metal cause part of the coin's surface to peel or separate. Genuine lamination errors happen during the manufacturing process and should not be confused with ordinary damage that occurred after the coin left the mint. Larger, more dramatic laminations generally command stronger premiums. Another collectible error is the clipped planche. Before striking, coin blanks are punched from long metal strips. Occasionally, one blank overlaps another, leaving a curved section missing from the finished coin. These distinctive errors are easy to identify when genuine and remain highly collectible. Collectors should also examine the coin's strike quality. Because of the enormous production numbers at the Denver Mint, not every coin was struck with the same sharpness. Coins displaying crisp wheat lines, detailed hair on Lincoln's portrait, and strong lettering are generally more desirable than weakly struck examples. Sharp strikes combined with original red color can make an otherwise common date stand out significantly. If you discover a 1957 D that appears unusual, resist the temptation to clean it. Cleaning removes the original surfaces that collectors value most and often reduces the coin's market price. Instead, hold the coin only by its edges, place it in a protective holder, and, if you believe it has a significant error or exceptional condition, consider submitting it to a professional grading service for authentication. The 1957 D Lincoln Wheat Penny serves as a reminder that rarity isn't determined solely by mintage numbers. While billions were produced, only a tiny percentage survived with pristine surfaces, blazing original red color, or genuine mint errors. Those are the coins collectors eagerly search for and are willing to pay premium prices to own. So the next time you come across a 1957 D wheat penny, take a few extra moments to inspect every detail. Look closely at the mint mark. Search for doubling in the lettering and date. Examine the surfaces for die cracks or laminations. Check for clipped planches or off-center strikes, and evaluate the coin's overall color and condition. Most examples will remain affordable collectibles, but a carefully preserved high-grade coin or an authenticated mint error could be worth far more than its face value. In the next and final chapter, We'll explore the 1958 D Lincoln Wheat Penny, the last Denver wheat penny of the series, and discover why some of these final wheat cents have become prized collectibles among Lincoln cent enthusiasts around the world.
Now we've reached the final coin in today's countdown, the 1958 D Lincoln Wheat Penny. At first glance, it may seem almost identical to the other wheat pennies we've discussed, but this coin holds a special place in American numismatic history. Why? Because the 1958 D is the final Denver Mint Lincoln Wheat Penny ever produced before the United States Mint introduced the Lincoln Memorial Reverse in 1959. That historical significance alone makes it a favorite among collectors. While millions of these pennies were struck, certain high-grade examples and genuine mint errors have become highly desirable, proving once again that an ordinary-looking 1-cent coin can sometimes become a valuable collectible. The 1958 D Lincoln Wheat Penny was produced at the Denver Mint, and the small D mint mark appears just below the date on the front of the coin. During 1958, the Denver Mint struck more than 800 million Lincoln Wheat Pennies. Although this is a very large mintage, it was lower than some previous years, making the coin slightly less common than the 1956 D and 1957 D in top condition. Most examples entered circulation and experienced years of everyday use, so locating a flawless uncirculated specimen today is much more difficult than many people realize. The obverse features the timeless portrait of Abraham Lincoln, created by sculptor Victor David Brenner. Lincoln faces to the right, with the motto, "In God We Trust," displayed above his head. The word liberty appears to the left of the portrait, while the date 1958 and the Denver mint mark are located on the right. Even after more than a century, this remains one of the most recognizable coin designs in American history, honoring one of the nation's greatest presidents. Turn the coin over, and you'll see the famous wheat ear reverse for the very last time on a Denver mint cent. Two elegant wheat stalks frame the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America, while the Latin phrase E pluribus unum appears across the top. This reverse design had been used continuously since 1909, making 1958 the closing chapter of an era that lasted nearly 50 years. Because of this historical milestone, many collectors enjoy owning a 1958 D as the final Denver wheat penny before the Lincoln Memorial design replaced it the following year. Like the earlier wheat pennies, the 1958 D was manufactured from an alloy consisting of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. Each coin weighs approximately 311 grams and measures 19 millimeters in diameter. When freshly struck, these coins displayed a brilliant reddish-orange color with bright mint luster. As the decades passed, exposure to air caused many coins to tone naturally into shades of red-brown or brown. Collectors carefully evaluate these color classifications because original red examples are significantly scarcer and often much more valuable. Color is one of the first things experienced collectors notice. Brown coins have completely toned over and are generally the least expensive. Red-brown coins retain part of their original mint color and usually command stronger prices. Fully red coins with vibrant luster and minimal marks are the most desirable. A certified mint state red example can sell for hundreds of dollars, especially in grades such as MS66 or MS67. Registry set collectors often compete for the finest known examples, driving auction prices even higher for coins with exceptional quality. Although most circulated 1950 AD wheat pennies are worth only a small premium over face value, condition can dramatically affect market value. A well-worn example may be worth only a few cents. Lightly circulated pieces often sell for $1 to $5. Attractive uncirculated coins commonly bring $10 to $50, while superb gem-red examples certified by professional grading services can reach several $100s or more, depending on their grade, eye appeal, and rarity. Now let's discuss the mint errors that make this coin especially exciting for collectors. One of the most popular varieties is the repunched mint mark, often called an RPM. Mint marks were still added to the dies by hand. If the first impression was not perfectly aligned, another punch was used, creating overlapping images of the letter D. Under magnification, collectors may see traces of the original punch. Authentic RPM varieties are highly collectible because they document the handcrafted nature of coin production during that era. Another variety worth searching for is the double die. While the spectacular 1958 double die, obverse without a mint mark, is one of the rarest Lincoln cents ever discovered, the regular 1958D can also display minor double die varieties. Careful examination of the lettering, date, and design details may reveal subtle doubling created during the die manufacturing process. Genuine double dies are much more desirable than ordinary machine doubling and can bring substantial premiums when authenticated.